The word recession makes most people nervous. Headlines warn about layoffs. Charts dip on the news. Markets fall. Friends start talking about belt tightening. But for most people, a recession is not a single dramatic event. It is a slow change in the financial environment that quietly affects jobs, savings, debt, and investments. Once you understand what a recession really is, you can prepare for one without panic. At its core, a recession is a sustained slowdown in economic activity across a country or region. Businesses sell less. Some companies cut costs and reduce staff. Consumers spend more cautiously. Growth slows or temporarily reverses. There is no single perfect definition, but the broad idea is the same. The economy moves more slowly than usual for a meaningful stretch of time, and that affects almost everyone in some way. This matters because recessions touch almost every part of personal finance. Job markets often weaken, pay raises slow, bonuses shrink. Some industries struggle more than others. Investments may drop in value temporarily. Lending standards may tighten. None of this is unique to one person. Recognizing it as a normal cycle, not a personal failure, helps you respond more calmly and protect your future from the most common mistakes. To understand how it really works, picture an economy as a flow of activity. Workers earn, households spend, businesses produce, banks lend. In good times, this flow speeds up and feels easy. In a recession, something cools the flow. Maybe higher interest rates, maybe a shock to industries, maybe a drop in confidence. The flow slows, and the slowdown ripples through many sectors over months or years. Let us look at a simple example. Imagine someone with a steady job, modest savings, and a small investment portfolio. During a recession, their employer may freeze hiring or trim spending. Their raise may be smaller. Their investments may dip in value for a while. Their actual day-to-day life may not change dramatically, but the financial environment around them quietly tightens. Awareness of this shift matters more than panic about it. A common mistake people make during recessions is reacting emotionally instead of strategically. They may sell long-term investments at the worst moment. They may stop contributing to savings, just when low prices could be most helpful. They may avoid making any financial decisions out of fear. Calm, thoughtful action almost always beats either panic or paralysis. Recessions are uncomfortable, but they have happened many times and will happen again. There is also a hidden risk in being unprepared. People without an emergency fund are forced to take on high-interest debt the moment income dips. Those with high fixed expenses cannot easily adjust. Those who chased every lifestyle upgrade in good times now feel the squeeze sharply. A recession does not create new financial problems by itself. It often exposes the small ones that were already quietly there in the background. A useful way to picture a recession is as a slow winter for the economy. Things grow more slowly. Some plants struggle to bear fruit. The temperature is uncomfortable for a while. But spring eventually returns. Winters are part of the natural cycle, not the end of the story. Households and investors who prepare for winter quietly do far better than those who pretend winters never come. A second key idea is that not everyone experiences recessions the same way. Some industries thrive even during slowdowns. Some workers are more secure than others. Some assets remain steady while others swing. Knowing how exposed your job, savings, and investments are to economic shifts helps you plan more carefully. The personal impact of a recession depends a great deal on the individual structure of your financial life. A practical example helps. Imagine two people who both experience the same recession. One has 6 months of expenses saved, low debt, and a diversified investment plan. The other has no emergency fund, large credit card balances, and most savings in a single risky asset. The first person feels concerned but stable. The second feels desperate. Same storm, very different shelters. The difference is built in advance, not during the storm. Beginners often misunderstand how recessions affect investments. Prices may fall sharply for a while, which can feel scary on a screen. But for long-term investors, lower prices can also be an opportunity to keep buying at better levels. Historically, broad markets have recovered from recessions over time. Selling everything in fear has rarely been a winning long-term strategy compared to staying calm and continuing to invest consistently. There is also a psychology angle. Recessions test more than your finances. They test your patience, your discipline, and your relationship with uncertainty. Many people feel pressure to do something dramatic in response to scary news. But often the strongest move is to do less, not more. Boring discipline, calm patience, and a clear long-term plan tend to outperform dramatic emotional decisions, especially during difficult economic periods. A simple practical rule helps you handle any recession reasonably well. Build an emergency fund in advance. Keep fixed expenses manageable. Avoid taking on high-interest debt during uncertain times. Continue contributing to long-term investments if your situation allows. Diversify across stable and growth assets. Stay calm about news headlines. The plan you make in calm times will carry you much further than any reaction made under stress. There are things to avoid. Do not take on new high-interest debt during shaky periods. Do not sell long-term investments at panic prices. Do not move all your money into a single shiny safe haven without thought. Do not ignore the situation, hoping it will improve quickly. Do not believe anyone who claims to know the precise day a recession will begin or end. Honest preparation beats confident prediction. A better habit is to make some financial decisions specifically with downturns in mind. Choose a job, a side income, or skills that can perform reasonably well even when the economy slows. Build a flexible budget. Keep some of your savings in stable, accessible accounts. Diversify your investments. These quiet decisions, made during normal times, are what make uncomfortable times feel manageable instead of disastrous. Over the long term, recessions are normal, repeating events in any economy. Most people will live through several of them. The way you respond, multiplied across all those events, has a major influence on your final financial position. People who quietly stayed invested, kept low debt, and maintained sensible savings often emerge stronger after each cycle. Recessions become uncomfortable chapters in a long story, not the end of it. So here is the short version. A recession is a sustained economic slowdown that affects jobs, spending, lending, and investments. It is uncomfortable but normal. Your reaction matters more than the event itself. Preparation in good times protects you in difficult times. Calm habits usually outperform emotional ones. Long-term investors typically benefit by staying invested rather than fleeing. Each cycle has historically ended, even if not on demand. If you want to feel safer during any future downturn, prepare during the calmest times. Build savings. Reduce high-interest debt. Diversify your investments. Develop adaptable skills. Avoid extreme lifestyle commitments. Then, when economic weather changes, you can respond with thought instead of fear. Recessions will come. They will also pass. Your job is simply to build a financial life that bends without breaking through both halves of the cycle.